Hey, thanks so much, Tony. Hey, I'm over here in case you can't see me. And if you're seeing the video version of this, I'm Paul Finkelstein. I'm Mr. Medicare, Mr. and Mrs. Medicare. That's us, Paul and Sarah Finkelstein. If you do want a copy of that book, I'll just put on the screen my website and some other information. But there is my website, paulfinkelstein.com. And when you go to it, there's a couple of graphics down. It says Mr. and Mrs. Finkelstein. It's a split screen with us. You could just click through that graphic and get to the free book, which goes to our YouTube. And that top video feature has in the scrolling bar how exactly to get the free book all about Medicare. So thank you so much for joining me here today. And I will let Tony say the last word before I come back on the screen for today's inspirational moment. Hey, Tony, thanks so much for doing that. If you actually are looking for a voiceover by somebody or something that's not AI, Tony, I highly recommend Tony Raimondo at trcvoiceovers.com. That's trcvoiceovers.com for Tony Raimondo for amazing voiceover. Hey, you just heard him right here on the OMG podcast. That is the podcast dedicated to entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs. And hey, text count me in as your next guest, Paul, at 561-302-0051. That's 561-302-0051. But I have some great news today on February 25, 2026, Wednesday at noon. I just completed my level 1 pathways in Toastmasters. Yay! All right. And that's a big deal because over 0.5% of thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of Toastmasters in 145 countries, only about 0.5% of them actually complete 2 whole paths with 5 levels in each one, plus serving their local district and over 100 districts around the world. So I wanted to give a shout out to Beverly. Thanks so much for approving my level 1 path from Century Toast Toastmasters in Boca Raton that meets at Johnson Controls. And here is the proof of that. Your level 1 completion is approved. Thank you so much, Beverly Corder. And then this is the notice also that came in Pathways in the little notifications on the right side of the screen. When you log into Toastmasters.org, and there's a little bell at the top of the screen, and this is what the notification looks like at the top as well. And then, of course, I got an email from Toastmasters that says my level 1 has been approved. So I have 4 levels left. And now our Vice President of Education, Beverly Cordner, she gave me a challenge, either Nam win or myself, the two of us, or the closest ones in the club, are going up a notch now. The first of us to complete our level 2 before June 2026. That's June 2026. So, Nam, you got the challenge here, of course. One of us has to complete level 2. And then, of course, we both win because when one of us completes level 2, it'll be gravy if both of us do. But if one of us does, then Censored Toast becomes a distinguished club. Probably a distinguished presidential club. And that's a big deal because that means that our club achieved its goals. And when the club achieves its goals, all of the members achieve their goals. Because the mission statement for Toastmasters is to make leaders. It's where leaders are made. And when we grow leaders, then we grow our Toastmaster Club, Censored Toast. If you want to find more information about Censored Toast, just go to Google and type in Censored Toast. There's only one of a kind in the world. So if you put in Censored Toast, it'll be right on top. And that'll have all the information you need. Of course, if you cannot find it that way, then here is another way that you could find it as well. I will share this website on the screen. Sorry, I misspelled gang right there. But hey, gang, make a note of this. paulfinkelstein.com. It's spelled just like that, paulfinkelstein.com. That's me in a suit, and here, of course, is not in a suit. So we all look different on Zoom or in remote fashion or in person to that, or like this as well. But paulfinkelstein.com, a couple of graphics down below at paulfinkelstein.com. So the event that takes place at noon Eastern time for Toastmasters. It has the remote link for the hybrid meeting for Censored Toast, or contact the club at the officer's email address on that website as well. Just click through the graphic after you go to paulfinkelstein.com. So thanks so much for hearing that. I suppose I could take this other notice off the screen, because here's my inspirational moment for today, and that's which dreams are not done yet for you. On this screen, you will notice, I'll make it bigger just for a second here, which dreams are not done yet. So the top part, obviously I've done that one. I'm there pictured with Tony the Tiger from District 47 and Toastmasters. We just completed the Palm Beach Marathon. That was several years ago already. That yellow bus was my portrait studio for over 16 years, doing executive portraits and family portraits and Santa Claus photography. That dream and bucket list I checked off. The right side is me, obviously there, not a AI or photographic background. That is Athens, Greece, on my honeymoon with my wife, our honeymoon there in Athens, Greece, standing on the Parthenon, or in front of it or on it. And then the right side, the bucket list, me on a special 13th birthday party, sitting on my mom's lap. My mom since passed away since then, but now I am taking on the challenge and bucket list of fulfilling her dream, which is keeping the family legacy and family business alive. And that's helping Middle America become financially free. And I got some tips and tricks for that. If you have a bucket list item, like all the way on the far right, there's a headshot of myself. If you'd like a nice headshot like that, I could tell you how to do that without even me bringing my studio, which I no longer have, to you as well. But down below that other graphic, what's really interesting, and gets interesting, let's see if I could hide one of these things. I think it's this one. You can see a picture. The dreams that are not done yet is maybe perhaps a motor coach or an RV that looks just like that on the bottom portion of this. So if you have dreams that are not done yet, then you are in the right place at the right time. But let's talk about how you can do that with Censored Toast. Because that Censored Toast, when you first do your first speech, you do a first speech and then say you stop because you get busy. Well, you go buy a drill at Home Depot, and then you make that hole. Then you hang that picture on the wall. And where's the drill go? Back in the garage. And how long is it going to stay in the garage before you take it out to drill another hole? It doesn't have to stay in the garage that long to drill another hole. You'll probably have some handy type stuff around the house to use that drill. Hopefully use it more than just once in 20 years. But I have a drill in the garage, and I don't think I've used it more than 10 times in 20 years, which means why did I even have that drill? But I needed to make a hole. Well, Toastmasters, you go to a meeting, you leave the meeting, and do you come back to the meeting? Or do you even go to the meeting at all? Maybe somebody gave you a brochure. You looked at it and you said, I don't need that thing. I don't know what that thing is. Why do I need that thing? You do need that thing. We build leaders at Toastmasters. We're hybrid. We're in person. There's so many options. There are over 300 clubs I could recommend just in the Florida area. As a matter of fact, I'll put this website on the screen so you could find a Toastmasters club near you. That's paulfinkelstein.com. paulfinkelstein.com, and I have over 300 Toastmaster clubs that I recommend in Florida, and over 117 I recommend in the Southeast Florida area. I'll leave that up on the screen just for a few more seconds, but thanks so much for joining me. And you do want to make another hole with your drill. I'm just trying to drill in that Toastmasters were not a one-shot deal to do one speech. It's way more than a one-shot deal. Matter of fact, all those dreams you see on the right there are not a one-shot deal either. Each dream was meant to inspire you to get another dream. You're not meant to just finish your dream, retire, and then put your feet up, eat bonbons, and do nothing all day for the rest of your life. When you have a purpose, life is much more meaningful. Is it? Isn't it? It feels great to keep achieving for dreams. Discover Toastmasters, discover Censored Toast. Just go to that website I gave you before. I'll put it once more up on the screen so you could join me at Censored Toast, paulfinkelstein.com, and then click on the graphic that says noon Eastern time, and that's the Censored Toast Toastmasters Club. Thanks so much for listening, and I'm really proud of achieving my level 1 for one of my Toastmaster paths. Here's my level 1 completion. Came in my email, came in my notification on Toastmaster site. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you go where the sun spends the winters on the beaches of the world and achieve all the success you've ever wanted to achieve. See you soon. Wait, you're still here? It's like the end of the movie credits. It's 12 minutes into this. We're at the end here. We're done. You missed the whole presentation. Just kidding. Relax. You can listen to it later. But here's the key thing. If you want that free book, I'll put it back up on the screen just for you because you're hanging out here and you might want to know where it is. And that's paulfinkelstein.com. It's right there. There's the website. Go to paulfinkelstein.com. And Mr. and Mrs. Medicare is right there. If A, B's, and C's and D's got you down with Medicare, you'll definitely want to go to that website. So thanks for joining me here right now. And I think there's one more message as well. You're still hanging around? You're still here? Wow. This has been the OMG Biz Cafe or omgtalk.com, the podcast dedicated to entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs. Text me count me in as your next guest, Paul, at 561-302-0051. That's 561-302-0051. Ciao for now.